What's up, Ghostbuster fans and movie enthusiasts? I'm Alex Figueroa, and welcome to Geeks and Flix. Today, we're going to be reviewing the latest installment to the Ghostbusters franchise with Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. So let's get to the plot of the movie. It's pretty simple. It's around an ancient orb that pretty much has Garaga trapped inside, and so again, it gets unleashed, and the Ghostbusters from new and old has to join forces to save the world. Now, that's pretty much it in terms of the plot. Now, let's just get right into the pros of the movie. Look, I love the fact that it took place back in New York City. I know Afterlife took place in Oklahoma, and I understand that was the story purpose for the story. In terms of New York is Ghostbusters' hometown, baby. You had to have it back at the Big Apple, and they did, and I enjoyed it, and I loved it. Seeing Ecto-1 screaming through Manhattan was amazing. Seeing it shooting his proton beams all over the place, loved it. But there's something about that thing that I had to throw it in cons, but we're going to talk about that in a few seconds. Now, Ray. In terms of Ray and the new cast, I think Ray fit the most in terms of the way they had him interact with the new cast. He fit perfect with podcasts, and I think the blending between those two characters worked very well to me. I love that they did a YouTube channel called The Repossession or The Repossessed. I loved it. I think that is hilarious. I think they should continue working on that because that thing is so freaking funny. And Dan Aykroyd did a great job. You could see he had fun with the cast. He had fun throughout the entire movie. You could even see him break character throughout some scenes that he's just laughing out the blue. He's holding in some laughs. So I kind of like that. It worked out a lot. The special effects in this film is good. I think the CGI worked very well. I mean, there were a lot of practical stuff, which I kind of liked a lot too, but they went some CGI, which is the ice that you see from Garaga, the big evil monster. We're going to talk about him in a few seconds, but in terms of special effects, they did a great job. Slimer's back, which I love a lot, and I wish they utilized him more. Talk about that in a few seconds. Now, the gadgets. They had some cool gadgets, but they did not use it as much. The only thing they used pretty much was the flying ghost trap, which I thought that was pretty cool, well engineered. Janine has this proton pack gun that goes in her arm. Dope. I think it's cool, but they used it in like two scenes inside the film, which I was like, man, I wish they utilized it a little bit more. The proton packs got upgraded, which I can't wait to get my hands on it and do my own upgrade to the film version. But again, when I mean upgrade, I mean they did some switching in terms of the way it looks, because honestly, throughout the movie, Phoebe, at the end of the movie, she pretty much does some enhancements to fight Garaga. So pretty much she's the one who tweaked her proton pack, and it was shooting different. It was shooting that green and blue beam, which you guys saw in the trailer, shooting at Garaga, which I thought it was great. She used bronze over her cyclotron and all that stuff, and I thought it was really great. Now, the beginning of the movie, I really want to talk about this, was it started in 1908 to where the original Ghostbuster Firehouse Ladder 8, I believe it's called, started. And that's when they show the history of Garaga, the ice guy, God, if you want to call him. I like that. I thought it worked. It showed you why that Ghostbuster Firehouse is unique in the world of Ghostbusters. Liked it. I thought it was cool. Now, that is my pluses, okay? All right, so let's get into cons, because I had a lot of cons during this film. Number one, Winston. Let's get Winston out of the way. Winston's character was cool. He's a billionaire. He is filthy rich. I think he's a billionaire, but he's mad rich. He's supposed to have, he's very wealthy. He is very rich. Now, the problem that I have with this movie and Winston is, number one, when Afterlife ended, you see Winston rubbing Ecto-1 saying, I'm going to take you home and I'm going to take care of you, baby. And I was like, oh, cool, we're gonna get a brand new Ecto-1. He's gonna look modern. He's gonna look pretty cool. Then you got seeing that he drives the Ecto-1 back to the original firehouse that Ray said that it became a Starbucks. I guess it did not. But anyway, it was abandoned and it looked dirty, run down. And I said, whoa, Winston is gonna use his money, pour it into the firehouse and into the Ecto-1. We're gonna have a modern Ghostbusters in 2024. Well, that did not happen. I don't know what happened here, but the Ecto-1 was a piece of shit, meaning he only gave it a car wash because, yeah, it did look new in the outside, but in the inside, it was still destroyed. In the beginning of the movie, had no AC. Electricity was running, was not working. Trevor's messing with it, and then it works again. And I was like, what the hell did Winston do to this? Like, literally, he's a rich guy. He said he was going to take care of the Ecto-1. He didn't do that. The firehouse it's pretty much a piece of crap from like 1984. Looked like no one changed it. All he did was they just cleaned it up. They moved the family in, and that's pretty much it. I was very shocked because I really thought that they were going to expand on Winston's wealth and change the entire firehouse within the inside, make it more modern, more fresh for the family. I thought the Ecto 1 was going to get an enhancements inside, not in the outside, but I thought the inside was going to get a brand new engine, like new cushions, new stuff. And I was kind of let down with that. I was just like, this kind of makes no sense with me with the Winston storyline being wealthy, because I felt like they just gave him the wealth just so he could have the paranormal research center, so it could be cool that he's funding it. But to me, that did not work. And let's talk about the Paranormal Research Center. I think it's a cool idea, but again, it just creates more of a plot hole because in the beginning of the movie, when they bust the sewer dragon and they put it into the containment unit can't hold it no more. So that is coming, like, they need to figure that plot out. And guess what? Winston had a brand new containment unit that he didn't tell nobody about. And I'm like, what the hell is going on here? Like, why would Winston not tell this family that's continuing busting ghosts that he had a brand new containment unit in Brooklyn? Again, stuff like that irks me because it's like, it doesn't make freaking sense in that sense. Like, these dudes are busting ghosts. They're putting it in this 1984 containment unit. And it's kind of filled now, but whoa, guys, we had a brand new one. And I don't know, to me, I did not like that at all. That was kind of weak for me in terms of that. Garaga, let's talk about the main villain here. He looks cool in terms of the design. I think he looked great. I know a lot of people have this thing with, like, he's too skinny. He looked kind of weird in certain shots in the film. I kind of understand that. It's again, a CGI. My problem with Garaga, and I'm gonna be really honest with you, this dude didn't do shit in the whole movie. All he did was just ice up New York City and got right to the firehouse, and that is it. And they just fought him. And I know people are gonna be nitpicking, going, but dude, you know, Gozer and the two dogs, Ghostbusters only did that. Yeah, and Vigo stood in the painting and he came out and that's what he did. Yeah, but if you looked in the movie, when the Ghostbusters were all released, they were raising havoc in New York City. We didn't get that in this film. We didn't get Garaga having an ice army running around New York causing havoc. They broke the containment unit. All the ghosts are flooding out of the containment unit, and we didn't get no scenes of the ghosts interacting even with the mayor, which we're going to talk about in a second, making him believe that they need the Ghostbusters again. So I felt like that character was just kind of like, I like it. I wish they did more with the character, but they did not. So I was not too thrilled with the main villain. Now, in terms of the subplot, oh my God, I don't even know how to get to this. There's 4 subplots in this film, 4. And I think, to me, this is where I just started to not check out of the movie. I just started to, like, roll my eyes and go, oh boy, here we go. 1, Phoebe's storyline with Melody. I don't understand where they were going with it. I don't like the fact that they used what they were trying to use as a gateway to unlock the demon out of the box. I think that was a stupid way to get the demon released, to be really honest with you. It didn't work for me. The crowd with you don't know if it was a lesbian scene or not. I really don't know what they were going for. It looked like they were trying to go full throttle lesbian, and then they took it back and said, well, we can't do this because she's 15. I don't know. Don't kill me in the comments, because that's what it actually looked like to me. And honestly, it did not work at all. A lot of people in the theater just, like, shrugging their shoulders going, oh, here we go again. My friend Ralph went nuts going, oh, this type of storyline. To me, I don't mind. I don't care if she's a lesbian or not. My problem is that why did we need this to have her extract her soul just to get Garaga? I think they could have did a way better job with the Garaga coming out. I just think in terms of that whole element of that, what they were trying to do looked like they were trying to go full throttle, but it didn't work. So I'm just going to say that. I don't want to keep elaborating on it. Number 2, the Gruberson trying to fit in. He doesn't know if he's a dad. He doesn't know he's a friend. Honestly, I could give 2 craps about that. Honestly, I did not care. In terms of Paul Rudd's character, I think Gary is a cool character. I think he's fun. But having him as is he a dad, is he a friend type storyline did not work for me at all. The Fire Master, in terms of that, I think it's a funny part of the film. But again, once you know he's the Fire Master, it's like, okay, guy, come on, let's move this story along, because I want this movie to start, like, resolving now. I didn't care for the Fire Master. Number 4, like I said, I got to the Winston Paranormal Research Center. I didn't like that much. And I think this is the last one in terms of subplot. And you guys could tell me in the comments down below if you think there was way more than what I just named here. But Phoebe was a minor, and the whole Ghostbuster, she's a minor, she can't be a Ghostbuster, she can, and then she's rebelling. I liked it. I thought it worked to some to some points. I kind of liked it. I thought it was fitting with the film. But then with the whole Melody Ghost, and then you adding Gary, is he a father or not? I felt like it was way too much. And I'm gonna be really honest with you. This movie felt like Full House with proton packs. It felt like you're watching a soap opera, like one of those sitcoms with proton packs. I don't think this movie felt like, I know a lot of people are like, oh, this is like a real Ghostbusters. It does have aspects of the real Ghostbusters here and there. A lot of people say, oh, it felt like a Ghostbusters movie. It does here and there, but as a full-blown Ghostbusters movie, no, it don't. To me, it felt like a sitcom. All right, so Walter Peck as the mayor, to me, I just don't think that worked very well. I thought it would have been awesome to make him into a believer because, like I said, in 84, Walter Peck got hit with the marshmallow stuff, and you're going, oh man, this is gonna work out because now they can finally make him into a believer. Well, it did not. To be honest with you, he was still a dick. And I was like, okay, great, but he was still a dick towards the end of the film. And I was like, yo, this does not work for me. I thought we were gonna have a scene that New York is getting destroyed and Walter Peck had to become a believer and go, you know what, guys, get me the Ghostbusters. And I was like, yeah, that would have been awesome. We didn't get that at all. So I was like, that was kind of a missed opportunity. We did not get him interacting with the original cast until the ending of the film. So for me, Walter Peck did not work as much in this film. Now, oh boy, I know that I'm gonna get flack for this, but useless cameos. And let me just tell you, useless cameos like Peter Venkman and Janine, you did not need them in the film. I know they're Ghostbusters, I know they're original Ghostbusters, but you did not need them in the movie. To me, I felt like they were not vital to the story where Ray and Winston was. That's just me. Again, my favorite Ghostbusters is Egon, so I could care less if Peter Venkman's in the film or Janine. So it is what it is. Don't kill me in the comments. Now, I will say this though, one problem I did have is towards the ending of the film, none of the original Ghostbusters, whether they're old, interacted with the new guys. And you guys could be like, oh, you're making it up. No, you could go back and check it out for yourself. Peter Venkman did not interact with none of the Spanglers at all. None, maybe there's deleted scenes, and if there is, cool. But he did not pretty much interact with them. None of the Ghostbusters tried to see if they were okay, and vice versa. So to me, that was kind of weird because if you're gonna do an ensemble like this, you want them to interact with each other to take on the common thread of Garaga. They did not do this. It was just weird. I just felt like they just threw them together and go, hey, there you go. We got the old and the new, that fans are happy. That is pretty much it in terms of a nutshell. Now, I will say this. What do I give this movie? I give this movie a 3 out of 5. I think it's a good film in terms of a Ghostbusters movie. Yes, like I said, I gave a lot of cons and I wasn't a big fan of it for what it is, but I think it's a good entry to the movie, but I think they need to add some characters and remove a lot of the Spangler family out. Leave Phoebe, add some new characters to make it into a feel like an actual Ghostbusters, not a family. I know they're gonna try to make it into a family film for, families to go see it. But for me, Ghostbusters was not a family movie. It was 4 friends busting ghosts. And I feel like they got away from that. And that is just me. It became more of a family thing. And I'm like, because look, this movie did not bust ghosts. They did not bust no ghosts in this movie. In the beginning was the sewer monster. And that is it. That is everything that you got from busting ghosts. You see hints here and there, and then at the end is Garaga. Other than that, it was just one monster that they busted, and the movie's called Ghostbusters. So I was just like, this is weird, and I thought, going into a sequel, we're gonna get multiple funny scenes of them going maybe to a hotel again and destroying it, maybe them going to some other place like a baseball stadium and destroying it from a baseball ghost or something like that. We didn't get that from this movie, and like I said, I'm giving it a 3 out of 5. I think it's a good film. For those that love Ghostbusters, you're gonna enjoy, you're gonna love it. For those that love the real Ghostbusters, you're gonna get that here too. But for me, I wanted a little bit more on this film. I wanted more, I wanted the feel of Ghostbusters 2. that campy, corny version of Ghostbusters in this film. We didn't get that. We got the whole Full House version of Ghostbusters, and it did not work for me. For me, it just had a lot of misses than pros. And again, maybe it could get better with the next sequel. Now, again, I hope they get Jason Reitman back or someone else that knows their ghosts. I do not like this director, okay? This director did Poltergeist, and that movie was a piece of crap. And he did other films that I did not want to see because he was just, I don't like the director. I know he's a writer. I know he did Afterlife as a writer. I think he should just stick to writing and do not direct another Ghostbusters movie. That's just me. But again, guys, so leave a comment down below and let me know your thoughts on Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. Is this a movie that you enjoyed? If it's a movie you think that sucked? And if you like what you saw in this video, please smash that like button. And if you want to be part of Geeks and Flix, then subscribe to the channel. I'll be doing more movie reviews here on Geeks and Flix channel in the coming weeks, every Wednesday. And of course, Nate's Out of the Theater reviews every Friday. You guys can check that out. Till next time, be awesome to each other and geek out.